Okay, we're here in the machine shop now. Got the head cooled off enough I can hold it. Still a good 100 degrees at least, but close enough to me. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit of light filing on here. Not too carried away, just a little bit. So I got multiple files to use. I got my real fine one. I got my other real fine one. And I got my coarse one. So we don't want to cut the gasket surface, we want to knock off the high spots, so we use the coarse one. I've already previously marked these so I know which way the file is bowed. This one's bowed like this. If you go like this, it's going to cut on the edges, here and here. If you go like this, it's going to cut where you want it to. So you see how it's not quite flat? Now the way you don't hurt the head is you do it at different angles. And don't hit the gasket surface in the same spot all the time. You're always cutting the part you want to cut, but not the part you don't want to cut. Some high spots all through where the C is right here. The weld area is pretty good. It's just high spot through here is what I'm cutting on. So a little closer you might be able to see. It's just a matter of working the surfaces in. This cut sounds pretty good. When you get over here, see how it cuts? This is all high through here. Go ahead and do this one over here. So you're cutting, but you're not cutting anything that really matters. See, we're not cutting the gasket surface out here. See how you don't really see any marks in there? So this is mainly all low through here, so I barely cut anything. It's better to be a little bit low than high. Less filing to do. So either way, it's a lot lower than it was. Yeah, I took more than I thought I did out of there. Well, it doesn't have a big hole there anymore, so we're alright. Now this is all beat up metal over here because this has all been pounded on. That's why the file's cutting all through the surface here. Which we're trying not to do too much, but we have to bring it in flat a little bit. So this one's high right here, a little spot, about half of it. Keep doing all different angles and you never hit the gasket surface. You are constantly cutting that high spot. Alright. Enough of that. Now we go over to the sander. That'd be over here. So this is our sanding area. No room over here for two people. Alright, so we're going to use our flat table here as our sanding block. Peel the grits off. We're going to grab some of our nice sandpaper over here we use. This is all pro-grade paper. This stuff here. So this is the no slip they used to make. They don't make it anymore. That's kind of semi-sticky on the back. That's the best one, but they don't make it anymore. But you use high-end paper. High-end paper is very even on all the way across the whole paper. It doesn't have little high spots anywhere. And it doesn't clog up as much either, which is a big improvement. Whenever you load up, it'll put a big gouge across your gasket surface, and that's not something you want to seal it with. You want it to be nice and flat when you're done, not gouged up. Alright, so usually I start with some bad paper like these. That way if I tear them up, they're already torn, it doesn't matter. Over here, so we just lay it on the table. Make sure there's no junk on the table. Now the first couple pushes you do is the worst. That's where you're going to tear something up, because there's going to be high spots. So I got most of it filed down, it's not too bad. So you can see the high spots though, all through here. You can also see it on the paper. See how it's leaving a high spot? It's also tearing the paper here, which is already bad. Okay, so I'm going to change the paper a different angle. You don't want to sand in one direction all the time, you want to move it around. So you can see all the high spots all around. We're not really cutting anything over here. We're sanding right over here though, so the head's warped slightly. So we change our angle. It's also cutting right over here real heavy. So this part's in the high. Yes it is. See that right there? So this is a high spot. So I gotta go back and grind out, because see when they milled the head, they didn't mill all across the whole surface. So that's making it grind over here, which is hurting our gasket sealing. So I gotta go grind this off. So if I kept sanding on that until that cleaned up, this whole corner would be pretty low through here. Alright, so I'm gonna go grind on that. We'll be back. Alright, we're back. So I grind that whole edge down there, so now it's below the surface. Shouldn't hit there no more. That's probably what that mark was we were getting on the plate was that. See now the head looks a lot flatter now. It's starting to hit more evenly. And see we kind of screwed up a little bit by having that a little low over there now, because now it's been ground on. But oh well, at least it's on the outside, which doesn't mean much. Turn the head to a different area. Give about 5 or 6 strokes. And turn a different direction. Do it again. The more you change your directions, the more flat it will stay. So we still got to get this area over here a little bit better. I'm going to change my paper. And this was a 120 grit, it looks like. Well used. There's 120 grit, a lot newer. See if it sounds different. Yeah, sounds like it's cutting. Turn it 90 degrees. Keep changing directions. It's important you push in the center of the combustion chamber, not on the edge. The center of the head here is not the center over here. So, see the chamber's over here. Basically pushing the head's right here is the center. The combustion chamber's right here, not over here. So, I try to push more evenly. So it's looking pretty good. I'd like to get a little bit more over here. So we'll work on that some more. Push slightly harder where you want it to cut the most. So you kind of influence it a little bit, but not much. Looking a lot better now. Give it a few more strokes. Get your fingers out from under it. You hold the paper with your fingers here so the paper doesn't slide. Try not to run out the back side of the paper, under pressure anyway. You can go a little off the paper, but don't run it way off. If you do, it just puts a mark across the whole thing. It's getting better. Alright. I think it's pretty good now. You can keep going on this until it cleans all the way, but that's plenty adequate for the gasket to hit against. So now each I do, I just kind of do a circle pattern on it. Or you push and twist like that in a curve. Gives you an ununiform finish. So that leaves it nice and gets all the lines and stuff out that's in there. Now this is 120 grit. You can go up to 180 grit if you want. It's up to you. If you're using the MLS gasket, make it smoother. If you're using the old style paper gaskets, this is plenty good. It bites in real good. Like I said, if you want to go a little bit finer, you can. You can see the machine marks in there from Harley where they had it. So we're smoother than they are. You know, so that's how it looks. Alright, so that's ready to be cleaned up. We're full of grit again. So this is ready for another clean job, but I don't need to clean right now. I'll go blow it off. So we'll be back.